Paul is starting off this hour in New York City. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Dave? Thanks for taking my call.
Sure, man. What's up?
Good. Me and my wife are trying to figure out our budget. The problem we're having is we're self-employed, and we don't know exactly how much money is coming in every month.
Right.
So our budget, we're trying to figure out our budget, and we're having a difficult time doing that.
Okay. Well, let's stop. First thing is you need to do a unique budget each and every month. Everyone does. So you do March's money in March and June's money in June. Okay. We don't have a template that works throughout the year. Some things repeat. Obviously, the house payment's going to be exactly the same, and other things are going to be exactly the same. But we're gonna do a unique budget for each month. The second thing is this: how long have you been self-employed?
About 10 years.
Oh, good. Okay. And does she work outside the business?
No.
Okay, so the entire income is the self-employed income?
Yes.
Okay. What's your low average month? Your average minus a little?
Low month would be probably about $10,000.
Take-home pay?
Well, the problem is we don't take a paycheck. We're an LLC, so we just take draws out of the...
Well, that's your income, okay. But you have to set taxes aside, right?
Yeah, we do that at the end of the year. We just pay our estimated taxes throughout the year.
Yeah, so you have to set the money aside for estimated taxes. And so is the $10,000 after estimated taxes or before? Because if you're pulling money out of the LLC, you should take a portion of that money and set it aside for estimateds, and you should take the rest of it home.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we pay everything through the business, so that's where we're having a problem. Is we don't basically, as money comes in, it's going right back out.
Pay everything? You mean you pay the estimateds through the business? You don't buy your groceries through the business?
We pay our mortgage, all our health insurance, and
Dude, that doesn't work. You can't do that. Your mortgage is not a deductible business expense.
Our accountant is telling we were trying to take a paycheck, but our accountant is telling us that we're not allowed to take a paycheck through an LLC. You
need a new accountant. This guy's an idiot. He's got you paying your mortgage out of your LLC and telling you can't take a paycheck from an LLC. Of course you can. I take one every month from my LLC.
Okay.
And everybody else does too, by the way, except people who don't make enough in the LLC to draw a paycheck out of it. But, I mean, it's just a company, and you don't need to be paying personal bills out of your business account. So let's go back a step or two. Step number one is a separate business account that all the income from the business goes into that account and only business expenses come out of that account. What's left in that account is called profit each month. Let's pretend that's $10,000, okay?
Okay.
When you take the $10,000 and write that check out of that business, you don't have to have it as a formal paycheck with formal withholding, but if you're smart, you will set the money aside for estimated taxes. And so you set aside, 25%, let's say. So you set aside $3,000. We'll call it $3,000 is set aside out of $10,000 for taxes, because that's about how much they'll be on that. And then, because you got to include self-employment tax as well as income tax, as well as New York tax. So $3,000 out of $10,000. So you take home $7,000. Does that sound right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
It does.
Now you set the $3,000 aside in a separate account, so you've got the money to pay your estimateds with your new accountant. Okay. Then from there,
we've been through a few accountants.
Yeah, so. You need another one. Then the next step is how to answer your question, which is how do we live on an irregular income? So we know 9 times out of 10, 95 times out of 100, whatever it is, you're going to bring home $7,000 because 10,000 is your low average. It'd be really bad month if you didn't have that much, right?
Yeah.
So highly unusual. So you can run a budget on that $7,000, a regular budget. That much is predictable. But most months you make more than that, so how do we allocate that money in advance? Well, let's do a regular budget with $7,000, pay the regular bills. So pay the house payment, the food, the lights, the water, and you spend that $7,000 each and every month on paper before the month begins. Then other things that you should do, could do, or want to do that didn't make the $7,000 budget, make a list of those things, like pay extra on debt, save for vacation, whatever it is you're doing, okay? And you make a list of those, a good long list, and you look at that list and say, if we make $1 more than $7,000, where are we going to put that dollar? What's the most important thing on this list? And you put a 1 beside that. And then you ask yourself, if we can do one more thing after this number 1 item, what do we do? And you put a 2 beside that. If we can do one more thing after this item, you put a 3 beside that, and so on. And then you rewrite that list in order of most important to least important things above your $7,000 budget. Then when you make money above the $7,000, you spend it right down that list. So that money's also spent on paper before the month begins. You have what's called a prioritized spending plan or an irregular income budget at that point. And you can do that with the every dollar budget. All you're doing is going back in and resetting it as you know what your numbers are. And you can apply it that way. And I'll send you a copy. Do you have a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover?
Yes, I do.
Okay. In the back of that book is a set of budgeting forms. One of the forms, I believe it's number 8 or something like that, is called the irregular income budget form, and it will reteach you what I just taught you again, so you can go back and review that. But you need to separate your business expenses from your household expenses. They need to be in separate accounts. You cannot do proper analysis on your business to tell what's profitable, what's fun, what's not, when it's all jumbled up with your grocery money. Part of doing accounting in business is you can tell what's going on with your business. You're reading the tea leaves of your business. You see which products are working and services are working, where you're making your profits and what items are losing money. And we don't want to do that and don't want to continue that product line. And you can't know all of that if it's mixed up with bananas and pears and loaves of bread because your grocery budget or your mortgage budget isn't tied up in your same account. That's just disastrously bad bookkeeping. And number 1 reason small business fail, cash flow problems. It's bookkeeping and taxes and debt that all fall under the heading of cash flow problems. So you don't want any one of those 3 problems. It's the number 1 thing that puts people out of business. You made it 10 years. You're doing good. You're making good money. Let's just clean this up. Thank you, Paul. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.